Hey everyone, and welcome to your May 2022 readings. I decided to change up the scenery since it's just super beautiful out, and also, speaking of change, I changed up the format this month. I might change it back, but this month we are focusing on all love readings across all signs. So that's what we're focused on. Remember that this is a collective reading for your sun, moon, or rising sign, right? So if this particular one doesn't resonate, I would check out your other two signs. Speaking of which, if you're wondering, I don't know, I follow tropical, I follow sidereal, which one? I would say just whichever you resonate with the most. So if you resonate more with sidereal and those associations, then follow the sun, moon, rising that's in that system, right? Or vice versa. So the timestamps will be down below as well. There are links also for how you can book a one-to-one reading with me. Of course, if we're doing collective reading, we can't hit the mark for every single like Aries or Aquarius all the way down, all the way through, right? So if you want something specific that is specific to your situation, I would recommend booking a reading with me personally. The links for that are down below. Also for how to get 20% off and 50% off of a one-to-one 90-minute reading with me. Last thing I'll say, oh yes, cards and cocktails. We didn't do it for the month of April. I know, I just got so busy. So we are doing it, cards and cocktails, hangout. It's a live hangout on Instagram that I do on Instagram. I might choose to do on YouTube. I still haven't gotten around to deciding whether I want to do it here or not because I have more people that follow me over there versus here. This is brand new, so we'll see. But if you want to stay up on that, follow me over on Instagram. I'm probably most likely going to be doing it either the first weekend of this month, which I know Mother's Day is there, so I might not do it then. I might do it when the moon is in Sag later in the month, which I think is around the 26th, 5th or 6th or 7th, something like that. So again, if you want to stay up on that, follow me over on Instagram. Last thing I'll say is that there are new monthly subscriptions that you can check out over on Patreon, and that's in the description as well, for how you can get ongoing divinatory guidance if you are going through a really stressful period, a transition period, with work, with life, with love, with anything, and you're wanting some like ongoing guidance. There are two options that I would recommend, right? One of them is a monthly subscription for weekly 30-minute readings, right? So it's like tapping in every single week on like what's up, right? And that's either live or recorded. And then the other is for a monthly reading with me for 90-minute reading, and that's either live or recorded. I only have a few spots for the lives, especially just because I need to make sure that I can deliver them. So if you want to get something like that done, feel free to hit me up. Without further ado, please continue on to your readings. Let me know how you like them. If you want me to stay focused on love, maybe we'll just keep that rolling for a little while too. I don't know. I'm still playing around with this channel, so I will talk to you guys next month. Thanks. Bye. Hello Leo, and welcome to your May 2022 reading. So this is a reading for sun, moon, or rising Leos. Just remember to check out your other signs. If this message doesn't feel like it's resonant this month, then it just wasn't the message for you, but you can always check out your rising sign or your moon sign if this is your sun sign. So let's go ahead and get started. By the way, if you missed the video at the beginning, I discussed what we're doing differently this month. I decided to change it up because I just felt like it. So we're focusing on love this month as opposed to doing the general and the career, business, finances one. So yeah, I just thought I'd change it up. If you feel like you would like to have me bring that back, just feel free to DM me or put it down in the messages below. But you know, just gotta switch it up every once in a while. So let's start with you. We're going to take a look at you and one particular person that you have in mind, right? Okay. All right. Okay. And also keep in mind, as we're looking at the next row below, that's going to be the person of interest for you. So you want to make sure that you keep one person in mind, one. So if you're somebody who's dating or you're in somebody who has multiple relationships, whatever it is, you want to pick the one who has the strongest pull. So just keep that person top of mind. That's who you want to be asking about is... you know, and the one that your strongest heart pull is moving towards, or that you have something that is the most up with them, right? Otherwise, it just gets like to be convoluted when you're trying to have it apply to multiple people. So pick one and one only. Maybe you could even, I don't know, for some reason I'm getting like maybe some of you could even check out your, if this is your sun sign, check out your rising and your moon for other people, you know, maybe if that makes sense for you. Okay, so this is them, this is you, and we're also going to take a look at what your internal landscape is, what's going on, because that definitely affects the rest of what's going on in our life overall, but definitely with love and relationships. And we're going to take a look at your outer being. Oh, there's some stress going on. That's interesting. We might get a clarifier on that, but let's start by checking this all out. So I want to make sure that this is actually in frame. Okay. All right, let's start here, Leo. So just looking at the two of you where you're at currently, let's just move this off to the side so we can just really focus on that. So looking at the two of you, it just seems like you're both kind of in these very independent places. Again, if you're somebody who is single or if you're in a relationship, whichever it is, right? So, but just very much like you seem to be in this very internal space, right? In your intuition, being observant, being discerning, figuring out how you want to proceed with where things are at currently in terms of love, relationship, right? But very much in your intuition, tuning into your intuitive space, right? So that's a lot of discernment. Like if we think about what intuition helps us do, it helps us discern things and to know for ourselves which path to follow, which path that we want to take, right? And then we have your person of interest over here, and very also like independent, right? Hard one to get to where they are at this point in relationships, in life, right? And along with that comes wisdom, certain kind of wisdom and understanding. Also the kind of strength and fortitude that it takes to really last with things. So the possibility, the potential is there, right? So there's potential inside of this. And when we're looking at what's coming up inside of the challenges for the both of you, I see a couple of different things. So still kind of, for some of you, I'm getting that if this is you in a dating situation, that neither of you has fully committed to the situation completely. Because here you are weighing out your options. And so yes, one could be like, this is a way of saying, okay, you've got more than one option, you're kind of weighing things out, trying to figure that out, right? If this is not you, if that's not the case, then I would read this as you are balancing and trying to figure out how to navigate the choppy waters of life, right? Just like how so many things that you are working with. Now, we don't know what's going on in terms of, with your career or your business or anything like that, right? Other areas of your life, but it looks like you're trying to balance and figure out like, how do I navigate all of those things and being in this connected to this person, right? So I would read that as either or. So see whichever one really feels resonant for you. And then when we're looking at your person of interest, it's like the Princess of Wands is really the Page of Wands, right? This very youthful kind of energy. It's also unfocused. And notice also something else that I'm seeing here is wands, right? We have wands all the way across. So I don't know if they're a fire sign or if they're just very fiery in general, have a lot of creativity or passion or, very like in their desires and creating from that place, right? So when we're looking at this particular card, it's very unfocused fire, especially in a challenge position. It's kind of like having something like ADHD, right? Just they're not able to pull together their focus, which has me think that if this is something where, again, you guys are dating and it's kind of early in the early stages or whatever, they haven't committed either because they're kind of like looking around still, right? Their attention is kind of all over the place with their fire. And so it doesn't seem like it's concentrated in one place quite yet, right? So it seems like if you're in the dating experience, I would say for both of you, it seems that it's a very similar space to be in. However, if you're in a relationship, I would say this is more about the balancing and how to figure out how to incorporate the relationship and keep it a priority while you're doing all of these other things. And they seem unfocused when it comes to the relationship, it's affecting the relationship in some way, their inability to be focused. And perhaps their attention is diverted because of their own creative projects or because of work or something like that. Or, it's fire energy, right? This is sexual energy. So they could be having, a roaming eye, perhaps, something like that. Now, being called into, as far as like what you're being called into, so being called into, for both of you, much higher places. So the Queen of Wands is definitely more of a mature type of fire. Sorry, my light just went on. More of a mature type of fire type of energy, right? So being self-assured, not arrogant, but self-assured, feeling self-confident, feeling settled in the self, and also very much about those burning passions and desires and intuitions and like all of those things that come together, the inspired spaces and the sexual energy and everything, but in this really beautiful, nurturing and warm and inviting kind of place. I wouldn't say, maybe not nurturing actually. The women, the queens are more of that nurturing type of energy, but I would say that this is more nourishing on that level of like that fire when we need to feel that passion in life, right? And so they're coming into their space next is where they hopefully they will be headed. But the message that they're getting in life, if they choose to really notice the messages that are coming through for them, are to step into from this more youthful, fiery type of place into a more mature type of fiery place. I mean, the Queen of Wands is also really inspired, right? She's inspiring through her creativity and through her she's like the warmth, the life of the party kind of, you want her around. And so stepping more into this space, and you can imagine being in a connection, a relationship, or taking it from, a light dating stage into something that is the next stage up from that, would be, you would want somebody who is not maybe in this energy, but somebody who's maybe more here, right? You, on the other hand, are being called into. I really love the connection here between the High Priestess and the Star card, having two major arcana like that showing up for you, right, on either side of the challenge. And I feel like that's a lot of support that you're getting from, if you're into like the astrals and energy and higher frequency stuff, we could talk about it from that perspective. But, we could also say that you're just getting support from your universe. It's like you're bolstered on either side of the challenge that you're experiencing. You're bolstered on either side by these two cards, and the Star card is really about that healing and about renewal and coming into a new place. This is the card that follows the Tower. So it's after things have been leveled to the ground and we come into this new space, a completely new, completely clean, like pure open space, right? So I don't know why I'm getting to say that this is an Aquarius card. So I don't know if you have an Aquarian moon or rising, if this is your sun. So I don't know if that's it. I don't know who that's for or why that's about an Aquarius. So maybe there's another person that you're considering going towards in this Aquarius. If you are, I would say that's something to explore for sure. So if that's not the case, let's read on as if that's not the case for the rest of you. So remember, it's a collective reading, so it's a little bit hard to make sure that we capture everybody in here. So take what's applicable for you. So the Star card is really about also being very seen, right? She's out in the open. The Star card is visible and in the spotlight, as it were, right? In the starlight, out in the open, naked in nature, right? Fully open and spread, the chest is open, very clean energy too. So, so you're being asked to step into this space, and maybe you need to become more visible. The other thing with the High Priestess is this could also mean, sometimes when we're retreating into our intuitive spaces, when we're moving into a state of observation and trying to kind of weigh things out and figure it out, we can be a little bit removed, a little bit absent or distant, or it can feel that way. And so you might need to step into the spotlight a little bit more, right? What I'm seeing so far from this person is like there's a lot of fire, there's a lot of energy, they're very independent, you're not quite sure about this, and you're weighing out the options. Both of you are being called into a next level, a higher level of your being, and I'm actually really curious. I want to get some clarification. I'm getting a key. This is the third time that so far that I'm getting the hit that I want to take a look further into what is it going to look like for the next 30 days, for the next month, for the entire month. Like, how will this progress? Because I just don't feel like I have enough information. It's like, okay, I can see where you both are at and that you're both in a very independent space, but I'm not really seeing anything kind of really join together here, not necessarily. So let's take a look also, before we take a look at some expanding on these particular cards, what's going on internally for you. So this is your internal landscape, right? This could be maybe something that you're not so aware of that is kind of running the show in the background, something that's more on the like sub levels, not necessarily subconscious, right? Because then you wouldn't be conscious of it at all, but just some of the deeper layers that are not really at the forefront of your conscious everyday experience, something that you're not really aware of. And there's this kind of like boredom or apathy that's happening here, and not really acknowledging the, not just not acknowledging, but not even really seeing the gifts that your call it your universe, your spirit, goddess, God, whatever you want to call it, is like angels, whatever you've got, but that your support is, your ethereal support is trying to kind of give you signals and omens and messages about trying to signal where you can put your emotions and follow a path, and just not really seeing it, not really noticing it at all. Perhaps because it doesn't look the way that you want, and you're so focused on the way that you wanted it to look and feel a specific way. And obviously that kind of like all of these emotions, all the characteristics that I'm talking about would definitely affect the way that you approach dating or relationships, right? So this is going on the internal level, and perhaps this is what's prompting you to like these emotions, and it's super appropriate that we're looking at what's happening internally, and it's a cups card, right? But this could be an indicator of why you're in this space, you know, that this, maybe you're already kind of having this feeling like you're not really sure about this, and it's not maybe looking or feeling the way that you want it to, and so you're examining it and trying to kind of feel it out also here, right? So at the same time, we have what's going on externally for you, and we have the Nine of Swords. And actually, I'm going to put this just above here so that you can actually see. That card. So this is the card of anxiety, depression, nightmares. So, you know, there is the possibility that there's a connection between like your intuition, and maybe you've had some dreams recently. Maybe you're a super intuitive Leo, and you've been getting messages about something that's happening in your world. That all said, it seems like this is for your overall life, right? This is not just about your relationship, love life kind of world or dating world. This is about your internal world, your internal landscape, and your external world, and who your external being is right now, what's most prominent for you in your life overall. And it seems like there's just like a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stuff that's like a lot of pressure, things that would, you know, as it seems here, keeping you up at night, things that would wake you up at night, things that would have your mind run, things that kind of are just really with you and creating a lot of anxiety in this way. And so, you know, there might be other things that you're dealing with in your world that are affecting your ability to really step into your intuition and be very clear about what you're weighing out when it comes to this particular person, right? So that all said, I do want to take a look at more so what is happening over the next month with the two of you. All right, so let's take a look here. I'm just going to move these off to the side here. And I'm getting 7 for some reason, wanting 7 cards for this. Okay. So 7 cards. We're going to take a look at what is going to be happening in the course of the next 30 days for the two of you here. So we're going to look at this. I'm also curious a little bit more about what you're actually weighing out here. So we'll pull 3 for that. I'd actually like to know a little bit more about where you guys stand right now in terms of the connection, because I'm not really seeing, like, I'm seeing a lot of independence, but I'm not really seeing a whole lot in terms of the connection itself, and I'm feeling 5 for that. Okay, so we'll take a look at those. And that's all going to be in the extended version over on Patreon, if we're going to take a look at that, because I just want to dive a little bit deeper into that. As we have been doing with the other, in the past months, we're keeping with the Goddess and God cards. So just a reminder with the Goddess and God cards that if you believe in deities and that's part of your belief structure, awesome. Then these are the homies that have your back for the month of May and going to help you kind of navigate things. If not, then choose to look at them as archetypes that you can emulate their qualities to help you with, that you can embody to help you navigate any of the challenges that are coming through for this month. Now, these cards are actually going to be informative for all of the rest of the areas of your life. So this is not just about love life. When we're looking at these cards, we're looking at what is coming up for life overall, right? For your entire life. All areas. Then we're going to also take a look at what's coming up directly as direct advice, spiritual advice from your ancestors, guides. You could call it the council around you, the ones who watch over you, who are with you. Okay. And also, what are the shadow aspects that are coming through? Any blind spots that are tripping you up, that are kind of running the show in the background, right? And these are the things that we tend to like sweep under the rug, don't really want to examine or look at, would rather not. And so this is often when we face these particular aspects of our lives, they're the ones that can give us the most change and give us the most momentum and really free up a lot of energy so that we can move towards the things that we really want. Now we're also going to take a look at a rune. I just want to give these a good shuffle. I'm feeling like these need a good shuffle. All right. So these are all going to be over in the extended version over on Patreon. The links for that are down below. And also the other links for any of the subscriptions. There are monthly subscriptions that you can have, like weekly 30-minute live or recorded readings, or monthly subscriptions for monthly 90-minute readings with me. So those are all available. Everything's down below. And if you want to get 50% off of a one-to-one reading with me, and you want to get specific about this, because I'm feeling like right now, out of all the readings that I've done this month for the Zodiac so far, yours is by far the most kind of vague. Like, it's not really giving me a ton to go off of, which is why I want to pull more cards and take a look at that over in the extended version for sure. I want to dive deeper into that. So that's what we're going to take a look at over there. Again, if you want 50% off a one-to-one reading with me, you can get one through the referral link. You can get a personal referral link, and anyone who you refer to me that books through your referral link, you get 50% off of a one-to-one reading. So that all said, I hope you enjoy the rest of your month. Thank you for joining me here, Leo, and I will see you next month or over on Patreon. Okay, bye.